go. How's everyone doing? If you're humping on here, welcome. Please turn on your cameras if you can, so I'm not just talking at a bunch of text and names. Thank you, guys. How we all doing? Good, I hope. Excellent, excellent. Let me give it just a sec here while we let some more folks in. Got a lot of note takers. A lot of note takers. All right. Okay. So today we're recording. Meg, are we good?
Yep, you're recording.
Okay. Perfect. All right. So what I want to do today, and the purpose of this, is less so about the basics of RealScout and more about some strategies and just making sure you're using it to its full potential and not just, oh, save search and we'll send it and, you know, whatever. There's so much more we can do with it, and I wanted to kind of go a little bit deeper into some of those strategies. Hey, Andrew, you guys, if you're on here and you are listening, cameras on if you can. I love talking to people, not to a screen. So who on here so far, thanks guys, who on here, and careful driving, Jenny. Okay, who on here so far has RealScout or is using it? Okay, who here knows about it but is not using it? Okay, excellent. All right, well, fair enough. So just real quick, top level here. RealScout is, and again, my opinion here, the best nurture. You know, you might call it IDX. It actually is not IDX. It's what's called a VOW feed, virtual office website. And what that means is essentially IDX on steroids, right? It's the fastest sync you're going to get, in my estimation, with CRMLS. Hey, Allison. CRMLS, where I am, it's usually about 3 to 5 minutes behind Redfin, which is meaning very, very fast, right? I think Redfin has been the fastest for a while. So being right there with Zillow, Realtor.com, and the others is very important. Many of the kind of typical IDXs that you might get on your website or your broker's, you know, tools, they're going to usually be an hour, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 behind the MLS. So speed is important here. Next reason, hey Chuck, next reason, Joe, that we like, I love it, is it's a true MLS match. It is a match, a field for field, match to match in most MLSs. I know there are some caveats where it's not the exact same, but any field you have in the MLS is matched in the same verbiage inside RealScout. There's nothing you're going to miss by going to the RealScout side of things. If you're familiar with, I mean, I don't want to name names here, but some of the big IDX platforms, and KV Core, Luxury Presence, Ylopo, any of those types of services, what you'll notice, and I'm sure you guys have noticed this, when you go to make your searches, you only have 10, 20 filters. Does that sound familiar to anyone here? You kind of, you know, beds, bath, square footage, a pool probably, maybe HOA dues, that's kind of it, right? I'm going to share here, and I'm just going to, what am I going to do here? I'm going to do entire screen, and we'll just hope for the best. Okay. Can you guys see my, somebody? I can't see anymore. Okay, excellent. So, okay, so I can't blur in RealScout, so just don't take my leads, please. I'm going to go to myself here, though, and kind of show you what I'm talking about. So, let's go making your searches, right? Default filters are all going to be here, and the layout you'll learn, right? But what's the powerful side of things here is down here. So I have saved these 4 filters that are not the default RealScout layout. But what you'll notice is every single field, your MLS is matched here, down to private remarks, showing instructions, levels, current financing, new financing. Everything you could possibly want is in here, right? So we did this for VA loans, right? I did levels because I want to do a lot with single story homes. We have some clients looking for a specific amount of garage spaces. Those are not in, I mean, parking might be in an IDX feed, but garage spaces is not going to be, right? You guys so far? Someone say something, they can't see you.
Yes.
Excellent. Okay, cool. So one quick thing I want to talk about on this page here that we use a ton, and I'm sure it's similar where you guys are at, I'm not sure, but are your guys' school district boundaries like pretty funky? Like not clean
Yeah.
lines and block to block. They're all funky, right?
Yes.
Are you finding, I'm gonna make this a little bigger so I can see. Are you the listing agents, right? I'm not trying to bash anybody, but listing agents might not be entirely accurate on the schools they say the houses are in,
Yes.
or list them all together. Just leave it blank. Our MLS is it's a required field. I'm not sure if you guys is, but it being the right school is right. There's no foolproof for that. So one thing on here, if you scroll down, so locations, this section, city, zip code, county, MLS area, right? That's an MLS area. So you can do, if your MLSs have those broken out. These are MLS fields. However, this section is not an MLS field. This is a third-party data provider called Pitney Bowes that uses their own geographic boundaries. So I'm going to do this and show you what this looks like. So if I go into where I am, Cypress High School, okay? This is not an MLS field, okay? If I go here, you're gonna notice that in a second, once my system loads up here, it's drawn a map that is pretty darn spot on for where the Cypress High School boundaries are. Lincoln to Holder, Holder to Orangewood, right? This is actually still Cypress, but this goes to a different school district. But this map is spot on. This is not, again, this is not pulling from the MLS. This is their own data service. So in doing it this way, I'm foregoing everything that the listing agents put in there for schools. And I know that I need to be in the Cypress High School District or Morris Elementary School or whatever city you're in. I would challenge you to start using this on schools specifically. I don't use it for cities necessarily, but elementary, middle, high, it's been a tremendous time saver for people that have to stay in a certain boundary, right? I could go draw this map, but that's gonna take me forever every single time I want to do it. Make sense?
Yes.
Yep. Pretty cool, yeah?
Yep.
Where did my notes go? Here they are. Okay. Okay. Who on here, and I'm gonna stop sharing for a sec because I like to see who I'm talking to. Who on here has used the agent notes in RealScout? Nobody. Who knows what the agent notes are in RealScout?
I know what they are, but I haven't used them yet.
Who's heard me talk about agent notes before? Nobody? Oh my goodness. Okay.
I'm guessing they're notes for agents.
No, it's better than that. It is notes that you put in that your clients can see.
Oh.
So, and I'm going to give you the use case here, and I think it's a tremendously powerful one. I'm going to pull up our listing that we have, one of them that we have right now. That's it. Okay. So, first of all, one more power up that, I'm not in the MLS that much. That might sound very strange to you, but if I'm doing a CMA or running comps for the listing, that's different. But looking up showing instructions and private remarks and where to send offers and what my clients are looking at, I'm in here much more than I am the MLS because I can just click one link from Follow Up Boss and get right to this backend screen that literally gives me listing agent information, that gives me private remarks, showing instructions. I can email the listing agent. Again, it's just way faster. That's one thing you might not have utilized too much. But okay, so this is the agent backend, right? I can share it, of course. But if you scroll down to what I'm talking about, agent notes field says remarks right here. So I did this yesterday. That's my own listing, so this is not entirely true. But what I would recommend doing, and this is the power up that I would, again, many people don't because no one on this call has done this. Use this for preview notes. Right? If you're previewing in person, good for you. It's a great strategy. If not, find your market area. Maybe it's 2 cities, maybe it's 1 city, 2 zip codes, whatever it is. Right? Ours is Cypress, Winter Park, Anaheim. Right? It's a 75,000 person area, right? Or no more than that. Every week, go find the new listings that hit the market and put in notes that about the location or the floor plan or the builder. For example, right? Good spot in Los Altos, not directly under the flight path of Long Beach Airport, close to tons of shopping, interior, not on a big street, right? Now, this is our listing, so this is all in the description, but agents' descriptions are pretty bad, as they would know. So if I go here, and this is a little clunky because I'm logged in as an agent. So let me see if I can still make this work. Let's see. Am I logged in? I am logged in. Okay. So there it is. So when the client views this house, they have to be logged in to your account, which most of you people are going to be, right? They're going to see the picture of the house. They're going to see the price, the beds and the baths. The first thing they're going to see before anything else is the note that your agent left about the listing, right? This is the same. This is a global setting for your entire account for any buyer that looks at this house. You guys follow?
Yep.
That creates the impression that you are the market expert. You know everything about these houses, right? Many of our competing listings in the area, right, are going to be garbage descriptions or not true or missing key points. You know, I love putting in here builder information, floor plan names, clarifying busy street, not busy street. Hey, Orange Avenue is a 4-lane, not an 8-lane. There's no median. You get some school traffic, but not much more. Again, the more that these leads that don't know who you are looking at this stuff, man, this guy knows everything about every house in the city, right? So that's a huge, I think, missed opportunity for a lot of people that don't utilize this. Can you guys see how that'd be helpful? Or is that just something that I'm geeking out over that no one cares about?
No, very helpful.
Yeah.
No, that I can see that.
And so, and the one thing I know, someone raised their hand, so give me one quick sec. The one thing here too, if they're not logged in, talking about lead generation now, if they're not logged in, this will literally say, Chase Whitney left a note on this house, click here to sign up or log in. So there's your call to action, right? So if you're not doing, if they're not logged in or they're a organic lead from somewhere, it's also, again, used as a call to action at that point too. Takayla, you first. What's up?
When you put your notes in it, is it just the people, like if I put a note in, only the people that are under me will see my notes? If my agent put a note in, only there? Okay,
yep.
That was my
Yep.
question.
So to clarify, now this is not Team Global yet. If you have a team account and you have 3 agents, the notes that I leave are not going to be on my agent's account. That's one thing I'm trying to get them to work on. But if I make a note on this house, only my buyers are going to see it. If you make a note on your account for the same house, only your buyers are going to see that note. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Is that kind of what you're asking? Okay. I don't know who else had their hands raised. I think Joe, maybe.
Joe did.
Yep. What's up, Joe?
Hey, Chase. Can this replace? Can this be my consumer-facing IDX on my website?
I mean, it's mine, but it's not inside my Agent Fire website. It's a separate URL. My property search tools direct to it, but it's not inside my page because it's not built for that.
Okay, that's what I'm wondering. I'm just trying to, eliminate as much tech as possible, utilize the service, this, because I think it would be a great tool to have, but I have a different front-facing IDX. Okay, so I'll just continue to use what I'm currently using and then use it, on the back end.
My workflow is street text and Agent Fire are the lead gen, right?
Right.
Wherever they come in from, open house, online, social, anything, then they get pushed directly into RealScout for the ongoing nurture because they're in my system now. Here's RealScout.
And when you do like lead gen, do you use RealScout links or your IDX links? Like if it's like, hey, check all the single story homes within these parameters, does it go to a RealScout page or your IDX page?
IDX page.
Okay.
IDX page. I do both. I mean, that's a longer answer. I do both because RealScout did release the search links, which allow you to create very customized search templates. There's a pro and con, right? If you send them to RealScout and they're going to see all the properties, great, but they're not really in your ecosystem, right? If you send them to your Agent Fire, you'll be able to, again, have pop-ups or force capture, or you can customize what they see a little more. So I do use both. Generally speaking, if it is like a social media lead, it's going to go to RealScout, the search links, right? If it's organic leads, that kind of thing, it'll be more so on the agent fire site, because I want them to see my branding and logos and professional website and all that stuff.
Makes sense. One last question on this, because I have some clients right now. I just joined Compass, and they have a really cool creative collection and all that stuff. Are the client or leads, clients, whatever we want to call them, able to add other people to this, dashboard? Like, for example, I have a buyer, 2 buyers. They want to send these listings to their parents.
Yep.
So they can, okay. I mean, it sounds like a very cool collaborative tool.
So yeah, so if I come in here, like, let me go back to my person. I do use Follow Up Boss.
Yes.
Okay. Any email address in Follow Up Boss is linked to the same record, right? So if I come in here, right, me and the missus, if I go to client details, that's the first email address inside Follow Up Boss. That's the second email address inside Follow Up Boss. If I want to add more, I just come in here and I just add more.
Okay, but we need to do that. So if a client says, hey,
you can for them. They can of course forward. No problem. No problem.
Okay.
Who else do you want to CC to? Yep. Comma separated. You can have as many as you want to. So you want to CC the parents and the whoever it is, coworker, boss, whatever, right? John, what's up?
Hey, quick question. So I do a lot of nurturing, from Vulcan 7.
Okay.
Is there a way to have that populate directly from, so have it gone Vulcan to Follow Up Boss? Is there a way to have it pop into RealScout as well?
So there's no integration to Vulcan, but Follow Up Boss is your central hub. So
Yeah.
You would sync it through Follow Up Boss. Is that your question?
Yeah, I think so. Yep.
Yeah. And so what I would do for you is I would work on this section here. So when you bring in people into RealScout, how do you want them to be brought in? Do you want to bring everybody in? Or do you want to bring in only people that are tagged with a certain thing, right?
Okay.
Do you want auto nurture, which is here, to turn on for everybody, or just people that are tagged with X, right? So everything starts and ends in Follow Up Boss. Okay. I think I did.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So I got rid of IDX Home Finder and just going to use RealScout on the website. But I found that up there, I want to be able to use all the robust search features, and I had the website person put it up there, but it looks like you can only put like the basic search things up there. Is that
so from
right? Or
if you're gonna embed RealScout elsewhere, it is gonna be basic. That's kind of what I was telling Joe before.
Okay.
Yeah, RealScout is not really meant to be its own, to be like an embeddable tool. You can, let's see here. Jump up into here. You've got 2 landing pages that, again, people might not know about. RealScout.me. So you have access to a customizable homepage, right? Again, not nearly as robust as a website provider would be, but you do have this variation of the homepage. You can customize the background, the picture, what this says, right? And then you can customize this and that, right? The other version, and I can't do it because I'm logged in, but just your first name, last name, .realscout.com is your kind of your map search landing page, right? It kind of starts with properties.
Okay.
So if you're going to integrate it with your website, you can integrate a search bar. You can just put this search bar directly on your website. That's easy to do.
Yeah, I think he's got up there. It's the basic, the bedroom.
So then what happens is when they click into it and type in, right, it's going to pull up this view.
Okay.
Okay. Paul, real quick, and then I got to move on.
Yeah, Chase, can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay, so little side note or sidetrack here, but you mentioned about you're not using this as a true IDX out of your agent fire. What's going on with the agent fire and the relationship with CRMLS? What, if you don't mind me asking, what IDX are you using with agent fire?
Yeah, not yet. Ping me offline.
right.
That's a whole separate
Yeah,
thing.
I hear you. Roger that.
It's not
That's okay.
gonna showcase is what you're gonna want to go to. But that affects the front end, doesn't affect the back end for RealScout.
Roger that. Thanks.
Okay, cool, you got it. Okay, next thing I want to talk about, and hopefully you guys are getting some good tips here so far. I'm gonna go back to. Does anyone here? I'm just asking a question. Anyone here leveraging with their clients? Because if you've heard me talk before, read my ebook or in the podcast or whatever, I've always talked about being able to leverage benefits to the client by telling them about them, right? Like, I know that RealScout is the best, but I want the client to know that too, and leveraging the third-party tools that we have. Does anyone talk to their clients about how your system that you have has features not in the MLS that they have access to? Anyone use that verbiage?
Not nearly as much as it should be.
Okay.
Or that I
So-
should be, I should say.
Inside RealScout on the back end, again, clients can do this and you can do it for them, right? So if you're having again, you're not gonna do this for every random lead you get, but again, buyer consultation, this should be part of your intake, right? Part of your onboarding, right? Two things: commute times, put in their daycare, put in their school, put in the in-laws, put in their work. And then, hey, Mr. Buyer, every house you look at, we can tell you exactly how far away it is in commute times, basically, no matter what time, for every house you're looking at, right? Just a nice, and you can change it. Drive, are they working rush hour? Are they taking public transit, etc.? Small feature, but I like it because, again, it's one more thing that you're going to do for them that other systems might not be able to. And then this guy here, this is one of the big ones. This is using their own machine learning, and Andrew will say that they were the first prop tech company to have AI back in 2014 before ChatGPT was synonymous with AI, and it's true. They're scanning and reading pictures. This is not MLS features, right? And you'll know too that certain fields are required and many are not, and they're going to skip a lot of them because they're just trying to get the house on the market and whatever. Am I talking? Oh, you can see. Oh, can you see this part too?
Yeah.
I can see it all.
Yes.
Yep.
Oh, geez, that's not good. Hang on, how do I get this thing smaller? I'm sorry, guys. There. How about that? Okay, so all these features here. Clients can do this on a house-to-house basis, or you can do it for them. So things that the MLS is not going to have, period, is things like proximity, things like open floor plan, right? Are they buy a movie theater? Are they buy a Costco? Buy a Trader Joe's? I don't know if Trader Joe's in here. No. Remodeled kitchen, remodeled bathrooms, right? Natural light, right? These things are things that are not going to preclude them. You'll notice here, it does not exclude listings from their search. But what happens is when they send them, when these houses get open, it will tell the client, hey, you've mentioned you like laundry rooms by a golf course near, oh, there it is, near Trader Joe's, right? This house has those three things, right? You also mentioned you didn't want a pool. This house has got a pool.
Okay.
It just, again, provides more context and an added layer of, collaboration, if you will, into their search experience. Does that make sense?
Yes.
That's
bet.
freaking cool.
With that,
I said, that's freaking cool.
it's very cool. Let me show you what it looks like. Still. Oops. Boom. And let's go as a home buyer. I think I'm logged in here, right? I am logged in. Yes. So, and where did they move it to? It's here, right? You have mentioned, Mr. Buyer, that you like all of these things, right? The house you're looking at has these, right? Pretty cool. It's something that I don't think any other tool has, to be honest. Especially when you're talking about all the things that aren't in the MLS. And again, even if they are, like you're relying on listing agents to put in every field in the MLS, which you know as well as I do that no one does. Fair? So pretty powerful. When they get the emails, when they get the natural language emails, let me show you what that looks like. Nope. Nope. Okay. These natural language intros start to mention things that they've said that they've liked, right? So, and when, especially if you're doing a tile where you have more than one listing, it'll usually grab 2 houses and then mention a few things of those 2 properties to kind of highlight 2 of the 11, right? So it's all working together to kind of, again, boost their engagement. Paul, real quick. No, not Paul. Who had their hand raised?
It was Joe.
Oh, Joe. I'm sorry, Joe. What's up?
That's okay. The natural language, are you able to create that in your voice kind of thing like you can with ChatGPT?
No,
Okay.
I don't even know if that's on the radar. I could ask him.
I'm just curious. I mean, it's, we're talking really cool stuff here.
Yeah, no, I again, you can turn this off. I don't see the reason to do so. This has just been a great asset. Someone else had their hand raised. I got 3 more things I want to cover in like 5 minutes. So real quick.
I did.
Go ahead.
I just have a quick question. Sorry, my camera's not working. I put someone, for example, this morning, I use Follow Up Boss on a land search. They're like, we want to make sure it already has a septic, want to make sure it already has a well. So I went down there, added all the things. And then when I sent them the listing, it still came up with unimproved land with no, septic and no well. What am I doing wrong here? Because sometimes it does great, and then sometimes it just ignores me and gives them, doesn't do any of this fine tuning for them, and it makes it seem like I wasn't paying attention. Yeah,
that's going to be too tricky over this call. If you want to send me send me an email with a Loom video, like walk me through your settings on that lead. I can take a look at it maybe over tomorrow.
Okay, great. Yeah. All right, thank you.
Cool. Okay, I'm going to zip through a few more things here, and I'm going to quiz you guys again and see who's actually using RealScout here. Who has set up market activity alerts like consistently? Joe. Okay, so 2 people. Okay, who knows what they are aside from Joe? Okay, maybe. All right, so market activity alerts are, in my verbiage, everything to know about a house or an area minus a price. Okay, for a seller, it is everything to know about your house except for what it's worth. For a buyer, it is how many buyers are competing against me in the market. Okay, so super easy to set up. And I would argue that, again, in a perfect world, if you're on top of your stuff, that every buyer and every seller should have one set up for them. The criteria is nothing more than a location and an optional price range. So I'm going to, again, go to my main spot here, Cypress, and I'm going to say I want $9.99 to $1.5. Okay, that's it. What the client is going to receive is something that looks kind of like this. It talks about buyer activity on a heat map. How many buyers have looked at how many houses in the last blank period of time? What does the heat map look like for where the houses have been that have been popular? How have the buyers been behaving over time? Okay, we dipped over Valentine's Day the week after. There was a boost in the market beginning of March. However, it's been kind of dropping until just recently picked back up. That's just context for the buyers. Now, again, this is not absolute numbers. I mean, RealScout is definitely a subset of the market. But when we're looking at percentages and a graph like this, in my opinion, can be extrapolated out across the entire market, right? They're going to get tiles. And again, the email looks different than this, or the landing page does. But what house is the most popular, right? What houses have recently closed? How many? Sold price, price per square foot, updated, new listings, etc. Right? And it is biweekly, monthly, or quarterly, or again annually. That's it. That's all it is. But that's again something that they're not going to get anywhere else for sure. So for a seller, right, how many buyers are looking for a house like mine? And then for a buyer, well, geez, there's a, right now is my sweet spot. I need to jump in. Or, hey, this pocket's been way too popular. I'm going to go move, further away or whatever it might be. But pretty powerful. And then flipping the script on that real quick is the test the market tool. Anyone want to unmute and tell me that you've ever used this?
No.
No? Okay. Test the market is a printable PDF version of that report to take on your listing presentations. Okay. So I'm going to type in, no, I'm not. I'm going to type in, well, it's the house they have listed because it's public. Okay. Okay. Long Beach, single family. This is a 4-bed, 2-bath, and we are on the market at 1150. Okay. For example, if you're going to go on a listing presentation, make sure they know this is just a test tool, not what you're necessarily saying. But that's it. I'm going to go there. It's going to give me an interactive version of the report before I export to a PDF. You can do this live with them too if you want to. Okay. What this is saying is how big is the market for buyers at price ranges around the target price, right? Higher up you go, I typically go lower on the increments, 2, 5, or 10%. But, and again, you're not going to focus too much on the, again, raw numbers of buyers because that's not extrapolatable, whatever. But percentages. Hey, Mr. Buyer, Mr. Seller, if we get under $1 million, we're under $1.1 million, I'm sorry, we're going to get a 5% boost in buyer visibility, right? If we get over 1.2, we're going to lose 7% of visibility in the market too, right? Yada, yada, yada. I feel that 115 is the strongest, thought to be, etc. This is the heat map. You're not going to get this on the export, but if I just take this out, I print this on every one of our listing presentations. That is the conversation right here. Cool?
Wow.
That's so cool.
Very cool.
Cool. And again, it's a third-party source. Tell them that. People believe you more when it's not your own data, right? This is a third-party source called RealScout that we pay for all of our clients and all of our sellers. Here's what it tells us, right? Advanced market data, right? Whatever clever word you want to use for it. And the last thing I'm going to talk about, again, that you can leverage on listing presentations is the My Listing inside RealScout to reverse prospect to agents that have matching buyers, right? I can go in here to Knoxville. I can go to reverse prospecting. That my VA has already done this for me. But, how many of my own buyers are matches? However, how many other agents inside RealScout in my MLS, and this will vary depending on how big your MLS is and how big RealScout is as a platform in your area. But I can come in here and see that I've got 226 agents that have, what was it, 500 and something odd buyers, right? I forget how many it was. But there's 226 agents that have all these buyers. So I'm going to go in here and message all of them. I'm going to say, show my listing to your buyer, please. If you don't want to send a message to all of them, sort by who has the most buyers. Sort by who has the buyers that have already looked at the house or that have said they like the house, right? Maybe you want to hit these first 20. Hey, your buyers already looked at our listing. Are they interested in going to take a look at it, right? I click message. I just copy and paste a note. I used to put their first names. It was taking way too long. Howdy. We have a new listing that matches some of your buyers' interests.
Do you have to do this one by one?
You do, but
Okay.
if you copy and paste,
Yeah.
I think my VA got through 220 agents in about 20 minutes, maybe 15 minutes. It's super. I'm not going to do it because I've already done it, but it's really quick. And the listing attaches automatically to the email. You know what? I just got one from another agent. Let me show you what it looks like. Let's see here. right here. So Shannon Paul believes your client might be interested in their listing. This was her message to me, right? And then me as the agent can see, hey, here's the house, here's the specs, right? I can click right in here to go to my matching buyers that she's talking about. She's not going to get the buyers' names or phone numbers or anything. All she sees, as you guys just saw, hey, Chase Whitney has 3 matching buyers for your listing, right? So I come in here to her listing directly. I go to my buyers, and I've got, geez, I got a lot. I've got 64 buyers that have a listing alert or have browsed the area before, right? So that's the back end. That's the recipient version of that. Okay, that was a ton. I do want to answer a couple questions. I'm sure there will be some without getting too deep in the weeds. Paul, Joe, Allison, are those questions, or was that an answer to one of my questions before?
I have a quick one. When you initially set up the market alerts, I think there's an email that goes along with it. Are you able to embed a link to a video to introduce the market alerts, show people how to use it?
No, but what I would do, and I did this before, I'll give you guys this. I got to find a way to, I got to find it though. Hang on a second. Where did I put this? That's going to be the hard part for me to find. Hang on. Emails. Here it is. Email drip. I'll give you guys this. Yeah, so okay, this is old. This is very old, but I built this action plan out for anybody that got RealScout from me. This was like 2016. So you might want to edit it to your liking and or any feature changes, because I've not used it recently. Hang on.
Thank you. I also noticed that you do RealScout consulting.
Possibly. Okay. So, well, yeah, the fun thing there is half the feature requests features they've been putting out have been from feedback from me. Okay, that email, send out with the RealScout. You give them the account, put that action plan on to give them the walkthrough. If you want to embed a video in those emails, Joe, that's where you would do it, right?
Gotcha. Thank you.
Hey, it's Joe with XYZ team. By now, you've already received your first RealScout email. This is a tool that we pay for, yada, yada, yada. I want to show you real quick a few things that I love about this. And do a screen share and just show them, hey, when you're looking at these properties, scroll down to the bottom right and you're going to see estimated closing costs. And scroll down further and you're going to see features that you've already indicated you'd like. The more you use that, Mr. Buyer, the more RealScout learns your preferences and can be more collaborative moving forward. Right?
Thank you.
Oh, Allison.
So I am going to be running some street text ads I have a new listing coming up. It's a house at the pool, RV parking, blah, blah. I created a search template link. So my question is, I originally have street text as a tag for my auto nurture. Should I take that off because I'm going to be using the template links? Or I didn't know if it was going to interfere.
You hold on. Let me think with this. You are going to be doing a RealScout link. Right now, your auto nurture turns on when street text is the tag that's added.
Yes.
And you want to override that because the property they're going to be receiving, the template is going to be, 20% bigger, smaller, or in the same city or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good question. So the auto nurture fires off on the street text tag. The search template fires off on the listing tag.
Yeah, like pool homes.
Perfect. Because when you have a search template applied or a search is saved, the buyer funnel of the auto nurture turns off automatically. So you're fine.
Okay, perfect. And I wanted to
a second to process that one, but
I was sitting here, I'm like, I don't want it to interfere, but I wanted to say I do use the for the listing presentation with the pricing tool, and my sellers. It's been really helpful with my sellers.
Let me give you one more too. Make a reverse prospecting list in Follow Boss. If you're using Follow Boss, I think you are.
Yep.
Have it to where, last activity is within 2, 3, 4, 6 months. Tags are any of ABCD, Long Beach, Anaheim, Cerritos, Point Park, whatever the cities are that will be comps for your house.
Okay.
Right. And sort that by last activity.
Okay.
And then turn on blur mode in Follow Boss and hit print.
Okay.
Right. Because, and I'm going to show you, but let me blur mine first before I do that. Hang on one sec. Because what you're going to do now is you're going to go to your listing presentation with pricing data that they're not going to get anywhere else. Then you're going to bring them a list of buyers that you have in your database that are currently browsing similar properties, and you're going to show them that you have their names and phone numbers, right? Everyone's going to say, "Hey, Mr. Seller, you met with 2 agents before. You met with me. Thanks again for your time." Yada yada yada. I'm sure every agent you talked to said they have buyers, right? And they're going to say, "Oh yeah, they have buyers." Great. They showed you their names and phone numbers, right? And they're going to say, "What are you talking about?" And say, "Oh, I understand. Well, here they are. here are mine," right? So I come in here. I have this smart list saved. Again, tagged. I'm excluding realtors, out of area, whatever. I am, again, this is what I forgot. The price field in Follow Up Boss is updating based on the last house they looked at. Okay?
Mhm.
So that Long Beach house, let's do the same thing. Okay, last activity, I'm going to go with 3 months. I'm sorry, I'm going to go 3 months. And I'm going to change my tags to, again, knowing where the buyers there to be coming from would be, oops, I can't see my screen. Okay, Long Beach and Lakewood and probably Seal Beach. So now I went closer in. You could argue that a small number here is good and a big number is good, right? But in Mr. Seller, we've got 31 buyers, as you can see, with names and phone numbers that are browsing as we speak, right? 3 hours ago, 5 hours ago, yesterday, last week, for houses like yours in Long Beach, right? These are buyers. Now, and I tend to go kind of casual here. I'll say, "Hey, is your buyer here?" I don't know. Honestly, probably not. But I might not say that. But that's 31 buyers I can call, text, and email repeatedly until they look at your house online, right? These
That's
are buyers
awesome.
currently browsing houses like yours. Again, what other agent is going to have that?
That's perfect. Thank you so much.
You got it. Andrew, good. I think, was there one more question, or are we good? Excellent. Awesome, guys. Well, again, hope that was really helpful. Hope you guys took something away from that you can implement right away. And yeah, if I can help with anything, shoot me an email, and we'll go on to the next one.
Thanks, Chase.
Awesome, guys.
Thanks, Chase.
Have a great day.